This whole terrace in front of us here in Moore Street was occupied in 1916 by 300 men from the Irish Citizen Army and the Irish Volunteers and 3 women. Now there were more women involved in the rising, but they had taken injured down to Jervis Street Hospital. They'd gone down Henry Street there. So this terrace is of importance from 1916 in terms of creating a nation and resistance to British colonialism. But also this street is a market street, and it belongs to a market quarter which is about 4 centuries old. Most of it which is buried under here, under the ILAC Centre. The ILAC has obliterated all that now. This is the last street left of that street market quarter that's 400 years old. And the speculators have been deliberately running down the street in order to make it have less opposition to them for their plans. There are now only 13 traders left operating in the street. If you look at old pictures of Moore Street, even back 15 years ago, you will see stalls all the way down. And before the ILAC was built on both sides of the street, stalls all the way down, one against the other. They've been running down the street in order to facilitate this. The plan was to build a big shopping centre all the way from O'Connell Street into the ILAC. And this destruction here is part of that. What these people want and what we want is that none of this gets knocked down. It to be restored in a way that would be respectful to the memory of the people who fought here and the people who also died in the street here, including civilians. My personal vision would be that you would be able to walk from house to house to house in the same way that they did in 1916, and that you would be able to come out the end and then go over to the rotunda where the prisoners were kept. This would give an opportunity for people to experience what happened in 1916 or an approximation to it without blocking up the market, because they would be going through the buildings without using the street. And then they would be able to come out the end at the rotunda, which has the facilities for talks and for a cafe, for all kinds of information to be given. And it is also the place where in 1913 the Irish Volunteers were formed. That was their first public meeting. And by irony, it was also where the prisoners were kept for 2 days without food and water.